What's up, guys? It's me, the Anti Thottie Defence Force leader, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make non-crap low poly mods and how to integrate them into Ravenfield. They're all the guides out there right now suck, and I don't care who you are. They're all low. They're actually low quality. In all honesty, they don't explain too terribly much, and the ones that do explain stuff, they're like an hour long, and the guy gets sidetracked. So I'm gonna make a couple of guides. I'm gonna be doing some live streams and some fun stuff. My days of making Ravenfield mods, in all honesty, are coming to an end. I own a business. I'm gonna be taking over another business here in about a month. But I figured I can leave my legacy on by uploading a bunch of content on how to do this. In all honesty, this game's it's not really even worth it. You're better off just letting some other poor schmuck make the mods. But if you really want to make one, this is where you gotta go. So today we're going to be making the Ruger carbine. It's a pretty solid weapon in real life. Just kidding, it's a 9mm rifle. It's complete junk. And I'll be using AMD Relov with a Vega 64 graphics card to the streaming. Quickly go over my specs so you know what. I have an i7 8th gen, bunch of RAM, bunch of hard drive, and the AMD Vega 64GB with 8GB of DDR5. Now you don't even need like a quarter of these specs to make mods. I've seen people make super crazy content using a Core 2 Dual. So don't worry about that. You're gonna need to have Blender installed and Unity for the Ravenfield and Unturned tutorials, which is what this is what that falls into. As for anything else, you'll just download whatever you need, and then you'll just follow the Blender tutorial part. So first thing you want to do, go grab a picture like I did. So we have this Ruger here, and then you're going to want to grab the Ravenfield Tools pack. We're not going to touch that just yet. So you're going to want to open up Blender here. And then you're going to want to drag your picture from wherever you have it hidden. I have mine on the desktop onto just a big cube part here. And then you're going to want to press 5 on your numpad. Make sure you have your numpad on. And then you're going to want to press 1 through 7 for this tutorial. I will be pressing 1. And you're going to see your gun in the picture. You can go here to your settings and you can view out all your junk here. As you can see, we have display, we have shades, we have all this stuff. Not going to really touch any of that, to be honest with you. So, and then we have a cube here in the middle. We're going to go ahead and we're going to actually delete that cube. We're pressing the delete key on the keyboard. We're going to go to add, mesh, and we're going to add a cute little plane. And that plane is right up here. All right, don't worry about the light. Don't worry about any of that stuff up there, the light bulb and or the camera. It's not going to impact anything during the modding, and you don't have to worry about it during import. All right, so we have this point in here. What we're going to want to do is we're going to want to line it up so you have the big flat side facing towards you, like that. You can shrink it down by pressing S to shrink it down, and then these keys correspond. This is the transform. This is the rotate. Oh wait, this is the translate, this is the rotate, and this is the scale. You'll be using all three of those. Feel free to figure out what they do. They're not too complicated, and you'll probably figure it out by just watching me. So we have our plane, we have it lined up, we have our picture. Try to get a higher resolution picture. When I do a lot of mods and I don't put a lot of effort into them. There's a couple I put effort into, but a lot of them are just assets that I just have from like a 3D modeling class I did. That's begun to change recently, but beforehand I was just making the assets for a class, and then I was making weapons on the side, and now I put a little bit of effort into my mods, but not a lot. I don't really care enough to put a lot of effort. But for this mod example, I will be putting in a decent amount of effort. So I'll teach you all the tricks that are pretty much needed. I'm not going to teach you everything because I got to keep my mods doing good, but yeah. Alright, so anyway, we're going to want to go to so this is your vertex select, your edge select, and your face select, and you're going to want to select edge. You're going to want to go here. This shows you what you have. So rendered will show you everything. Wireframe will just show you lines, and solid's going to show you, basically the gray thing on there. The rest of them aren't really needed, unless you're messing around with textures and stuff. We're not going to be messing around with textures. This game isn't worth it to mess around with textures. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to begin making an outline. So we're going to drag our bottom piece here to match up with the bottom of the gun here. And as you can see, we already ran into our first problem. How are we supposed to get the rest of this gun? We only have one cube. Oh, simple. So what you want to do is you're going to want to hold shift and click two of the edges and then press E to extrude. This is how you extrude line or vertex or whatever. You can do this with any of the modes. I'm using the dot because we're making an outline. And you're going to want to do that and basically just make a rough outline of what we're looking at here. And you're going to want to try to keep it straight. I find that clicking them, extruding, then right clicking and then dragging back helps keep everything nice and straight. And you're just going to want to basically put a big box over everything. Don't worry about making it perfect. Don't even worry about adding extra vertexes. I just do that to basically keep everything simple. And if you make a mistake, you press Control Z to go back. And we're going to keep going here. We're actually going to drag this sucker back to here, and then we're gonna go right there. Oh, also when you're doing these things, if you want to, you can hold Control while dragging this to keep the locket. This is actually really helpful when you're doing other types of stuff on here. We're not going to be doing any of that stuff, but if you're running into problems with like trying to keep everything steady and make it exact, that's a very good way to do it. So that's just good to know. And then we're going to do another one, and then we're going to do one more. Alright, cool. So as you can see here, we have a basic outline of the gun. I don't worry about adding the barrel. We'll do that separate with a cylinder. So once we have all this stuff here selected and whatever the heck, we're going to begin dragging these little dots to match up with the basically the outline of the image. And you're gonna want to try your best to not make it all crooked. So if there's flat edges, grab more than one dot and drag it on there. It just helps it keep it uniformed, which something a lot of Ravenfield mods, even the higher quality mods, the hack is uniformity and good sights. I noticed that a lot of them, they have like off sights, and they're off by nothing, but it's like, I don't put any effort in mine, but I always make sure my sights are lined up. I won't even release the mod if my sights are not lined up. So, alright, as you can see here, we ran into our first problem. We have a little bit of a problem here. So what you can do to counter if you need extra dots is you can go Control R, and you can drag in vertexes. Now, there's other methods to doing this, but I find that most of the time Control R is more than enough to fix the problem. You do want to try to limit the amount of vertexes you have and the amount of edges, but most of the time if you're under a certain number, you're more than fine, and I wouldn't worry about too much if you're new to this. As you can see here, we're basically outlining the entire weapon. You can also do this with Fusion 360. I do not use Fusion 360 for Ravenfield modding. I've only used it once and it worked great, but that's not why I have it. No. So we're going to keep outlining the buttstock. Don't worry about the side details just yet. We'll go into that later and we'll handle those problems. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to keep on dragging, get a solid outline here. Then we'll put another vertex group there. I'll put another one there. And then we're going to put one last one here. Alright, and then we're going to go up here. And once again, you see these rounded edges, don't worry about them. We will handle that later. That is not a concern as of right now. So, there you go. See, close enough. And don't worry about the trigger guard. Actually, most of my mods, I don't even worry about putting in this part here, because your character's hand's in the way, and a lot of the weapons that the guy actually made, he doesn't even have that trigger guard. I think it looks ugly on the mod. I think it ruins it, and it makes it look like it's a low poly game. I'm not going to spend time putting in this. I don't know. We might put it in. We'll see how I feel. So once we have all that done, we can go back to the solid frame, and then we can click off 5 to get out of the frame, or to go into the fisheye perspective, and we can take a peek at our mod in the flat form. So there it is. There's our Ruger carbine base. So what we can do is press A to select all, and press E to extrude. Now, as you can see by up here in the corner. 1 minute. Let me click off. This thing moves here. See, if I move this, it moves. So what we can do is, if you want to keep everything uniform, you can click this, and then you can type 1 to basically set the extrude at a certain amount. And what I do is I always extrude it to about 2 or 3. In this case, we're going to do 3. And I find this works really swell when trying to do content. You can also do 2. You can do 1/2, whatever number you want, whatever number you think is the perfect size. I tend to do 2 to 3, and then I just go down from there. So now we have the base of our gun produced. What I do here is I go to Object, and then I drag this to 0, 0, 0. This is how you get the sights aligned, which is the big thing that if you watch this video and you don't learn anything new, at least you're going to learn how to do sights correctly, because right now. So then, and then what I do here is I go to Add Mesh. I'm going to add a cylinder, wherever that is. We're going to go to 0, 0, 0 with the cylinder. You can select your vertexes down here, and we can actually still do that since we're in object mode. I tend to do about 24-ish. Oh, and see, it kicks it back. That's awesome sauce. That's cool. So we'll get those back here. So as you can see here, our vertexes are back. And then we're going to want to go up. We're going to want to rotate it 90. So you just type 90 in your keyboard. S to shrink. As you can see, though, they aren't aligned again. It keeps going out of alignment, actually. Why is it doing that? Let me go to edit. Oh, okay. I see why it's doing that. So since we this has to be 0, 0, 0. Okay. So you have to go to edit mode to put the gun in 0, 0, 0 since we built it on the one side. I completely forgot about that. But as you can see, now the cylinder and the gun are pretty much aligned. You don't have to do it by eye. It's calculated. So that's very helpful. And then we'll drag the barrel up to here. Right now they are 2 separate objects. You do not actually have to do them in 2 separate objects. I'm just doing it to keep everything simple, and then we can teach other tricks and tips here. So as you can see here, that barrel is way too big for a 9mm gun. So we're going to shrink it down a little bit. We're going to drag it up to here. We're going to go out to here. I like to press S and shrink the barrel in just a little bit to give it some of that cool texture. And then we're going to go there, and now we have the barrel in. We're going to quickly add a mag. So we're going to go to cube, and then we're going to go, since this cube's spawn is in the middle, we can go 0, 0, 0 in this editor to drag it directly to the 0, to the center of the mod, which once again, that's just makes it easy to keep everything aligned. That's a really big problem on making Ravenfield mods, is keeping stuff aligned. No one cares to have it exact, and it's not that hard. Go in the edit mode, and we're going to just drag out the magazine. We'll worry about detailing it more later. And then basically, there you go. There's a really low poly weapon. So now you have your very low poly weapon. We're going to make a part 2, so just keep an eye out for that. But that's how you basically make a super low poly weapon. You could just toss this into the Ravenfield editor and be done with it. The next episode, we'll go into more detailing and making it fancy. So thank you for watching, and join the Discord. I don't even care if you don't subscribe to my YouTube account. We are going to be doing live streams, I am going to be doing live streams whenever I get the chance. I really do care, though, if you join the Discord. It's a great community. We have about 300 plus people in there. It's a fun group. I'm always looking for more people in there to talk to, and that's all I care. If you have any problems, please join there. I'm more than willing to help you if I'm open. I'm a very busy person on the side, so please don't spam me over it. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching.